Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cristo Rey Network Virtual College Fair. We are very excited to have you participating in this event with us this evening. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each of them will have 6 minutes to share more about their respective school, and please stay around for the entire session in case you have questions. My name is Clarissa, and I'll be your facilitator for the entire session. I want to go over just a few housekeeping items before we get started. Your camera and microphone are turned off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, if you do have questions, you can use that Q&A feature on your screen at any time. If you are having a question for a specific school, make sure you mention them within your question, or if you just want to know generally from everyone, you can kind of leave that out there as well. This is just one of many sessions happening today, so make sure to go check out the schedule to see what else might be offered. And also, this presentation is recorded, so that way you guys can review it later at the same site where you registered. Now, we do have a quick video we'd like to share before we get started.
Welcome to the Cristo Rey Network Virtual College Fair. We're glad that you're here, and we congratulate you and your families for taking this next step in your college journey. With over 25,000 alumni nationwide from 39 schools in 24 states and almost 13,000 students currently in Cristo Rey high schools, we're glad that we have over 5,000 juniors and seniors who are joining us for this virtual college fair this year. We're joined by nearly 100 college partners who are invested in your future, some of which have been partnering with us for over 15 years. You'll have the opportunity to connect with dozens of colleges and partake in one of 2 financial aid one-on-one sessions. One will be in Spanish and one in English. And since all these sessions will be recorded, don't worry if you miss something, because we'll put them out on YouTube after the fair. And don't forget about the Ask Me Anything open forum at 7 p.m. Central on Thursday and 3 p.m. Central on Saturday. This is your prime opportunity to ask college admissions representatives anything. We want you to leave this fair confident and empowered to start your college journey. Thank you for all of your commitment to the classes of 2023 and 2024, to our parents, guardians, students, college counselors, and college representatives. Viva Cristo Rey!
All right, so let's get started with our first college. We're going to go a little out of order today, so I'm going to turn it over to St. Mary's College.
Perfect. All right, hopefully everyone can see this. But hello everyone, my name is Desiree Perez and I'm an admission counselor at St. Mary's College in Notre, Indiana. So glad to be here with you guys this morning, or I guess afternoon now. But I am a proud alum of St. Mary's, so I'm so happy to be sharing my experience with you guys today. Just wanted to make sure if any of my students are here, I do take care of Northwest Indiana, the west suburbs of Chicago, California, and international students as well. So if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me after this. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So St. Mary's is made up of about 1,600 students, so we definitely are a tight-knit community. Many people may assume that since we are based in Indiana, that a lot of our students are coming from here, but that is not the case. As you can see on the map, the French crosses on the map represent where all of our students are coming from. And with that being said, 63% of our students are actually coming from out of state. So we have a lot of students from California, Arizona, Wisconsin, Illinois, Florida. We have a lot of students from everywhere, but it is really nice, especially inside and outside of the classroom, just to have, just to hear about those different students coming from different backgrounds, as well as coming from different places. It is super beneficial no matter what career path you guys end up going to hear about those different experiences. So super cool that we have that on campus as well. So just a little bit about St. Mary's. Oh, I think that skipped all the way to the end. So sorry. So what makes St. Mary's unique? Of course, on campus, because we are a smaller college community, our students really do have a very individualized experience with the professors and inside the classroom. So inside the classroom, you will not just be a name. Like, your professors really do try to get to know you guys and make those meaningful relationships with you all. So for example, they give you guys all their personal phone numbers at the beginning of the semester for you guys to call or text about class if you ever have questions, or if you just wanted to talk, you definitely can do that. They also have open office hours as well, so you can always stop by their office, and they have like an open door policy too. So that is super nice to have on campus, to make those connections and things like that. We do have about 60 academic majors that students can choose from. Some of the top being nursing. We do have a healthcare facility on campus that was just built in 2021, so it's very new, very high tech for our students. Engineering is also a big one. So we actually have a dual degree program for our engineering majors. So that is where they can earn 2 bachelor degrees in 5 years, one from St. Mary's in an area of their choosing, and their engineering degree over at the University of Notre Dame. We also have a social work 3+1, so that is where they can earn their bachelor's in 3 years and then earn their master's in 1. So they're graduating in a total of 4 years, which is crazy. We also have speech and language pathology is a big one. Business, psychology are just to name a few out of our 60. But of course, we also have a student design major. So as long as we have the capacity to teach you what you want to learn on campus, you can create your own major. So I had a friend that did African American studies. That is not like an actual major on campus, but she made it her major. So just know that you can do those things on campus if you wanted to. Lastly, research is definitely big on our campus. We are an R1 institution now, so that means our research is very much up there. So all of our students have experience in the research sector during their time at St. Mary's, so they do have to conduct their own research during their senior year. And it is in literally whatever they want, so I think that was always super fun for me. I think it was very creative. So you can go whatever route you want to with your research during your senior year. But otherwise, if you're interested in research even before that, all of our professors are currently doing research. So you can definitely assist them with that. And that can lead to so many different experiences for you and open a lot of doors. So you can potentially help them present at a psychology or a conference. You can also help them like code their data, help them write their research paper. And I'm talking from personal experience. Like I got to have these experiences and it opened a lot of doors for me. So just know that you can do things like that if you are interested in research on campus. So we are an all-women's college, a very empowering all-women's college, but we are actually across the street from the University of Notre Dame and Holy Cross College. So with that being said, our students can actually take classes at the University of Notre Dame or Holy Cross if they wanted to, as soon as their sophomore year at no additional cost. So it really is up to them and what they prefer and what they're looking for in their college experience. But essentially, you are getting the best of both worlds here at St. Mary's because you do have access to like joining clubs. So you have over 500 clubs that you can join within the tri-campus. When I say tri-campus, I am talking about Notre Dame, Holy Cross, and St. Mary's. And then, of course, our students can go to the football games, tailgates, and everything like that. So it is super fun, but it really is what you want out of your college experience. So it is really nice that we have that option as well. All right, so a little bit about our admission process. There are 2 ways to apply. So you can apply early decision or regular decision. Early decision is definitely for those students that are 100% sure that they want to come to St. Mary's. You do have to sign a binding agreement saying that if you are accepted, you will come to St. Mary's. So that deadline is coming up close on November 15th. Otherwise, if you are considering other colleges in addition to St. Mary's, just know that regular decision is probably for you, and that deadline is February 15th, so a little bit later on. So what do we look at when looking at your application? We do look at your grades and grade trends. We want to see that you guys were consistent all 4 years of high school. We also like to see that you are challenging yourself, especially in your senior year. We see a lot of senioritis coming up during that year. So we definitely like to see that you guys are still trying and finishing off strong. We are test optional, so you do have the option of sending your test scores in or not. But if you do, we definitely look at that as well. We also take into consideration anything that you were involved in during high school. So any volunteering, any clubs, job, anything like that. We definitely look at that as well. Letters of recommendation are optional except for one. So we do require one from your guidance counselor. But other than that, it is up to you how many you want to send in, but we do read all of those. And lastly, of course, your essay. We are essay optional as well, but if you do send it in, we do read that. And we are very holistic in our review process. So definitely keep that in mind that we don't just look at your grades and GPA and things like that. All right. Last thing, so 100% of our students do receive aid. So if you are accepted to St. Mary's, you are guaranteed a merit scholarship, and that ranges from 24 to 36,000 this year. And we do have a couple internal scholarships that are for first-generation students as well. So definitely, if you are interested in that, please feel free to contact us for more information. And lastly, if you are here for a bachelor's degree, we do expect you guys to graduate in 4 years. That is what that 4-year promise is. If you do have to spend any time past that, we will pay for that time. On our behalf. But that is about it today. Hopefully I did not go over time. But if you guys have any questions at all, this is our information. So please feel free to take a picture of that and feel free to contact us. But thank you guys so much for having us here today.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Up next, we have DePauw University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Hardy, and I am the Assistant Vice President for Admission and Dean of Admission at DePauw University, which is a school located in Greencastle, Indiana, and we are about 45 minutes away from Indianapolis. The first thing that I always like starting off with is just explaining a little bit about some of our ROIs. So DePauw, we are a top 50 national liberal arts college and the #1 liberal arts college in Indiana, according to US News and World Report rankings. And one of the things that really helps us in those rankings are just our outcomes. Our 4-year graduation rates are about 30% higher than the national average. 95% of our students are either employed full-time or enrolled in graduate or professional school after DePauw. Our medical school acceptance rate is 90% and our law school acceptance rate is 80%. So we have a great education that really allows students to have hands-on learning opportunities. And that is really a big part of the reason why our students are successful after graduation. One of the things I would say DePauw is most well known for is study abroad. We're consistently ranked as one of the top 3 schools in the country for sending undergraduate students abroad as well. But a little bit more about DePauw and kind of just some fast facts. We have about 1,800 students on campus. So our student to faculty ratio is about 10-1, with our average class size being about 17 students. All of our students live on campus. We are a 100% residential campus, so students live on campus for their 4 years. We have residence halls, apartments, houses, and then a large population of our students are involved in Greek life, so they're in fraternities or sororities. So those students live in their houses as well. And although DePauw is located in the Midwest, we are pulling our students from across the globe. So the majority of our students are joining us from Indiana and Illinois, but we have students from across the US, and then we also have a large international population as well. And after graduation, our students are highly mobile, so they're all over the world, which is great for our current students because that allows them to really connect and get internships and jobs afterwards. As far as our curriculum at DePauw, all of our academic programs are divided into 3 schools. So we have the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. That's the foundation of everything that we do. Regardless of what a student is studying, they're going to have to take courses from that area. We also have our School of Business and Leadership, and then we have the Creative School. When students are admitted to DePauw, they are admitted to the university. So we don't have any secondary admission requirements. So students can easily declare their majors. We see a lot of students that take an interdisciplinary approach where they're taking courses from a variety of different areas and they're combining majors from different schools. Our most popular areas of study at DePauw are computer science, business and economics, biology. We do see a lot of students that are interested in the medical field. And then psychology is also a big major for us as well. DePauw also has an interdisciplinary create your own major. So students can come in and really tailor their education, which is going to be one of those hallmarks of the liberal arts education. As far as activities outside of the classroom, DePauw has a variety of different student clubs. One of the clubs that I've been asked about a lot by high school students this year is Improv Club. We do have an Improv Club. At DePauw, students can start their own club like any other school if that's something that they're interested in. DePauw is a member of the NCAA Division III. So about a third of our students are varsity athletes, and we also have intramurals and club sports. I mentioned earlier that Greek life is big. And then within our creative school, DePauw has a rich music history. So we have different musical ensembles that are really big. Theater's also big on campus. They actually just put on a production of The Addams Family. And on campus, we have over 200 different productions that we are hosting or that our students are putting on each year. And then DePauw is a place that has a lot of rich traditions. One of our favorites, if you see the photo of the football game that is against our rivals, the Monon Bell is really big for us, and our students love participating and going to that game. One of the things whenever anyone asks me about DePauw and what makes us unique, I always point to our alumni. Our alumni are just really engaged throughout a student's 4 years. They are a part of the orientation process for students. So this past year, our students were meeting alumni within 3 days of being on campus. They are mentors. They're coming back and doing lecture series, and then they are also helping students find those internships and jobs. And then they're not only generous with their time, but also with their money. So about 98% of DePauw students receive scholarships. And then for Cristo Rey students that are admitted to the university, we guarantee that we will meet 90 to 100% of the demonstrated need for those students. I encourage students to visit campus. Our application is open. And this slide lists some of the things that we are looking at when we're reviewing applications, but we do employ a holistic approach to reviewing files. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks.
Thank you very much for your presentation. As a reminder to our students, if you do have any questions for any of the colleges you are seeing today, definitely don't hesitate to put those in the Q&A down below. Up next, we have University of Notre Dame.
All right, hi everyone, gonna get my slides going and we will be off. Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Leanne Francisco. I am the admissions counselor from the University of Notre Dame. I cover here in the US, I cover all of Texas except for San Antonio and Austin. So if you are from any of those areas, I am your admissions counselor. And today I want to give a brief overview of Notre Dame, and as always, will be available afterwards for questions. So first and foremost, Notre Dame is a Holy Cross college. So we were founded by Father Sorin in 1842, and he had this mission for Notre Dame to be a powerful means for doing good in this country. Today, that is still our mission, to be a force for good in the world. And we really do focus on that holistic education. So educating the mind, the body, and the spirit. We don't just focus on academic formation, although that is very important for our students. We also focus on personal, professional, and spiritual formation. So thinking a little bit more about who we are as an institution, let's talk about location. Notre Dame is actually located in Notre Dame, Indiana. We are part of the Tri-Campus, like our representative from St. Mary's said, and we're actually located in the surrounding community of South Bend, Indiana. This is on the northern part of Indiana. We're about 90 minutes to 2 hours away from Chicago, Illinois, and we have a really robust population of folks in the community. We're not the only institution in the area, so we have St. Mary's, Holy Cross, Bethel University, as well as IU South Bend, just in the local area. So there's lots of young folks coming from all quarters of the earth to be in the South Bend area. This is one of my favorite pictures of South Bend, just right off St. Joe River. And we have this small and growing college area. What I love about South Bend is that it really is away from the hustle and bustle of the city, but you have access to places like Chicago. Some of my favorite places in South Bend include the Morris Performing Arts Center, River, and Howard Park. Just really fun places for our students to explore the landscape and get involved in the arts. And I'll talk a little bit more about the campus community next. So Notre Dame is a very residential campus. About 80% of our students do live on campus. We have over 30 residence halls. Now, this is a program that we're really proud of at Notre Dame. Our residence hall system mimics what you may find in sorority or fraternity housing, though we don't have Greek life at Notre Dame. You are required to live on campus for 6 semesters, and any time you spend abroad will count towards those 6 semesters. So what I love is that we have students coming from all 50 states and over 80 different countries. So you're going to learn from your peers and you're going to create community right when you get to campus. Each residence hall does have their own mascot, colors, traditions, signature events, formal dances, and even service organizations they work with. So they're a very, very special place for our students. Now, thinking a little bit about that academic formation, this is a college, right? So let's talk about a little bit about the classroom experience. So when you're at Notre Dame, you're going to apply to the university as a whole. You'll have your intended major, which is the major you put on your application. That will stick with you for your first year. You'll be able to explore that major as well as other academic interests. And then at the end of your first year, start of your second year, that's actually when you will declare your major. So we have a pretty small campus, small to mid-sized campus with just less than 9,000 undergraduate students. Our student to teacher ratio is 9:1, so your professors really do get to know you. It's big enough of a campus that you can still get lost in the crowd a little bit, but you're also able to find your community quickly. It's one of the things that our students really do love about not only the classroom experience, but also just the community experience as a whole. Now, whatever you choose to study at Notre Dame, we're going to encourage you to bring your skills, gifts, and talents to the world. So 70% of our students do study abroad, puts us within the top 10 in the nation for study abroad participation. We have 11 global gateways and centers in major cities like London, Dublin, Hong Kong, and Rome, where students are able to study abroad. We have both academic year programs as well as summer programs. And for those who are interested in things like engineering or the STEM field, who may be thinking, well, I'm never going to have time to study abroad. That's not the case at Notre Dame. In fact, 65% of our engineering students are able to study abroad. We're also going to help you with that professional formation as well. So we have a 97% placement rate. That means that within 6 months of graduating from Notre Dame, 97% of our students had a job, grad school, a year of service, or military service locked in for them. So they knew their next step within 6 months of graduating. We also have an 80% pre-med acceptance rate for med school, as well as a 90% law school acceptance rate. And our median salary for our students is $76,000. So not only are we ensuring that you have an awesome time here at Notre Dame, but we want to set you up for success even once you leave Notre Dame. So you may be sitting here thinking, this sounds awesome. How do I apply? How do I get involved? We have 2 deadlines at Notre Dame. Restricted early action is around the corner. It is November 1st. We also have regular decision, which is January 1st. Something to note is that our restricted early action is non-binding, so this is different from early decision. If you have questions about that, feel free to email us. Our contact info will be in my last slide. And we also have a holistic review. So we'll look at your transcripts, the rigor of your coursework. We are test optional for current juniors and seniors. And we'll also look at a letter of recommendation, your activities, and your essays. So all parts of your application are really important. As someone who reads those applications, I promise you, we do read every single part of that file. One of the last things I'm going to talk about today is demonstrated need and need-based scholarships. So we know that investing in your education is really important. At Notre Dame, we meet 100% of demonstrated need. That means we take the cost of attendance, we'll subtract whatever you and your family are responsible for. Whatever is left over, Notre Dame's financial aid notification will cover 100% of that. We do that utilizing loans, work study, and university grants and scholarships. We are also a QuestBridge partner, so if you're interested in applying through QuestBridge, that is a really great opportunity for students who may qualify. Last year, we matched with 96 scholars, so it is a huge program at Notre Dame. But we do focus a lot on that need-based financial aid. We do that utilizing CSS Profile and the FAFSA. So in a nutshell, that is Notre Dame. I know I flew through those slides. If you have any questions, you can reach us at admissions at nd.edu. This is also our website, and I highly recommend checking out our social media as well. Our students work really hard to give you insight into what the student experience is like. Well, thank y'all so much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Up next, we have Washington and Lee University.
Yep. Hi all, my name is John Wolfgang, he, him, his. I'm an assistant director of admissions at Washington and Lee University. I am also the staff advisor for Club Ultimate Frisbee on campus. So if you come join the team, help me pump my numbers. Specifically, I work with students from Colorado, Kansas, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, New York City, and Long Island. So a lot of different territories, but if you're within them, always feel free to reach out directly to me. You can see my contact info on the screen. And similarly, if you are a first-gen student, if you're a rural student, or if you're a QuestBridge applicant, I also work specifically with you. But otherwise, yeah, then I can just talk about Washington and Lee a little bit. So WNL is a small private liberal arts college located in Lexington, Virginia. So we are not a part of the Indiana procession that you just saw. When we say small, we mean it, right? We floated about 1,850 undergraduate students and then another 400 or so students at our law school. Our law school is our only graduate program though. And so that means anytime that a professor is conducting research, anytime they're publishing those findings in an academic journal, anytime they're presenting at a conference, it is undergraduates who are getting involved with that every step of the way. And then, yeah, when we're talking about our location, this is kind of what it looks like, right? We're in a really gorgeous part of the country. We truly are a college town. So Lexington is 8,000 permanent residents, and then another 4,000 college students split between us and Virginia Military Institute right next door. So if you want to be in a place where you can walk 2 blocks to get to downtown, to go to every restaurant that will always have a discount if you show your college ID, those sorts of things, then Lexington and WNL is going to be a really great fit. If you're outdoorsy or want to kind of experience that, we're also a really great fit. We have a 325-acre campus, so that's half a square mile. It's about the same size as Central Park, or about half the size of Central Park, I should say. So it's a gigantic, gorgeous campus, but we're also about an hour away from Charlottesville, from Lynchburg, from Harrisonburg. All of those are towns that have universities with over 25,000 residents. So if you want to get that, again, big D1 football experience, you can go to the UVA game on a weekend or something like that. We're also about 50 minutes from the Roanoke Airport, which is where I usually fly out of when I'm leaving. So we're rural, but we definitely aren't remote. Another one of the things that really distinguishes us as far as a liberal arts institution is going to be that we have something on campus called the speaking tradition, and then we have the honor system. And so these are two things that really contribute to the unique feel on our campus. The speaking tradition means that, like, when you cross paths with someone on campus, you look up, you say hi, you ask them how their day is going. I know that can sometimes stress students out a little bit. I went to college in New York City. We had the opposite of a speaking tradition on my campus, so I get it. But it does really contribute, again, to this inclusive feel where everyone knows that they're a valuable part of the community, that they're expected to contribute to making it better. And I feel like our students find it really empowering. The same thing with the honor system. Knowing that everyone else on campus really believes in that honor system, it allows our students to, leave their backpacks on benches across campus. And, they'll just kind of forget about it for an afternoon. When I go to the gym, I just throw all my stuff in a cubby, don't worry about locking it up. And our exams are unproctored. A lot of professors will offer untimed exams as well, because again, we have this huge buy-in in the honor system, and our students are the ones who end up benefiting from it. So as for who those students are, right, our campus community, as you can see, we do have students from all over the nation, all over the globe, 47 different states represented, 24% domestic students of color, another 8% international students. And you're going to get to know these students because we have that intimate classroom setting, right? 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, average class size of 15 students. That's incredible. The largest class that we offer on campus every year, organic chemistry, tops out at 40 students. That's literally 10 times less than some of the classes I had as an undergraduate, right? That makes a huge difference. And because every single class is being led by a professor, all your recitations and labs are as well, because we don't have grad students on campus, right? It means that you're always kind of building up these relationships. You can get involved with research as soon as you step onto campus. And then as far as what that research might be in, right, we have 78 different programs of study. So we have a lot of the traditional liberal arts things, right? Those interdisciplinary programs, things like data science, poverty and human capability studies, law, justice, and society are really popular. But we also have some really signature programs. Our business program is the only accredited business program amongst top 20 liberal arts colleges in the nation. Our journalism program is the only accredited journalism program amongst top 20 liberal arts colleges in the nation. We have a fully in-house 4-year engineering program that ends with a Bachelor of Science. So you can do non-liberal arts things at a liberal arts institution, right? And we have a lot of success getting our students involved with that. Another one of the ways that we try and make sure our students have these experiential learning opportunities is going to be through spring term. So every year there's a 4-week period in late April and early May where you have only a singular class that you're taking. A lot of them go abroad during that time as well, right? About 60% of our students study abroad during their time at WNL. Some students do that during spring term, right? The most popular option I've heard of is called the science of cooking in Italy. I'm not much of a cook, so it doesn't really appeal to me. But things like our volcanic geological survey in Hawaii, that is a little more my speed, right? But we also have options to go for full semesters during the summer. And if you're going during the academic semester, there's no additional academic expense, and we can cover travel if you have any amount of financial aid. You just need to talk to our financial aid office. And then what our students do after WNL, as you can see, 93% outcome rate, 90% graduate school rate overall. I don't think those numbers mean a lot when they're kind of divorced from context. So the number I always like to talk about, we actually have over a 93% med school acceptance rate for the past 10 years. The national average during that period of time is 41%, right? So over double the national average. So we do a really great job of preparing our students for what comes next, whether that be a graduate program, whether that be recognition through a fellowship, right? Things like the Fulbright, we were designated a top producer of Teach for America teachers, or the Rhodes Scholarship, which is the most prestigious graduate scholarship on the planet. WNL has 3 winners of the Rhodes in the past 7 years. No other liberal arts college in the nation has more than 2 American Rhodes winners going back for 15 years, right? And WNL has 3 going back half that amount of time. So if you want to, again, get involved with that, be a part of it, we engage in holistic application review in a very similar way to what a lot of the other schools describe, right? High school transcript going to be hugely important. We're test optional. If you choose to submit test scores, our middle 50% is a 1430 to a 1510 on the SAT, 32 to 35 on the ACT. So you can just kind of use that as a rule of thumb if you want to submit, but if you don't, it doesn't punish you at all. And then all the qualitative stuff too, right? Writing is really important when you're applying to WNL. Your extracurriculars especially are really important. And then as far as financial aid, we meet 100% of demonstrated financial need for every student admitted to WNL. That number goes up a lot higher than some students think, right? As you can see, the WNL promise means that for any student whose family makes less than $125,000 a year, WNL is entirely tuition free, right? Again, just a really fantastic opportunity for our students. And then we also have really strong merit aid as well, the Johnson Scholarship for Leadership and Integrity, full tuition, full room and board, $10,000 summer research expense, and it comes with travel to and from campus as well. So really just making sure that no matter what background a student is coming from, WNL can be a financially reasonable option for them. And of course, an academically incredible one, right? And so, yeah, that's all I really have. But again, my contact info still on screen. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out directly to me. We're a small enough school I can actually answer emails.
Thank you so much for your presentation. As a final reminder to our students, if you do have any questions for the colleges you're seeing today, definitely don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A below. Up next is our last university, which is University of Bradford.
Hello, good afternoon. So my name is Fanny. I'm filling in for Sheila today. Let me just find my presentation. It's a very small one. So this is Bradford. In a nutshell, we are a small university that has about 10,000 students on campus, both students that is from undergraduate and postgraduate as well. So I will just go ahead through and just go directly to, we are located in the UK. We are the 6th largest city in the UK and the youngest city in the UK, which is also most improved city in the UK. That is for the growth cities of 2019. So we also are a boom town and we are very diverse because over 130 languages are actually spoken around Bradford. We are the first UNESCO city film of the world. And we are also home to the National Science Media Museum and Ambra Theatre. So we are also a 5 minutes walk from the city center. Everything that you would need around Bradford, you will find around Bradford. Like everything, like from going to town to going to the market and everything else, you actually don't even need a lot of transportation to do that. You can always be able to walk around to get from one place to another. So as I had mentioned, we have just slightly over 10,000 students on campus. Around 130 nationalities are represented, and about 21% of these students come from international. So we have over 40 sports activities and also group activities, which also include academic, hobbies, international, and religion. So in terms of religions, we have a prayer room on campus, we have an imam on campus, we also have a chaplain on campus, and 5 minutes away walk from the campus, you can be able to find a church, and you can also be able to find a mosque. So we have barbecue on campus, which we normally use for bringing in students as for our fast when it comes to the students who are coming in for the first time. So we have a place where we get together and go and do all these things because we are very cultural and we like to actually check on other people's cultures, and we actually like to teach so that we are able to see what the other cultures are doing as well. So we also organize weekend trips for our international students. This is for every other week, we organize a trip for that so that all the students that are coming into Bradford can be able to see all the other cities in the UK. So I'll just very quickly go towards our faculties. We have 4 faculties. One is the Faculty of Management, Law, Social Sciences. The other one is the Faculty of Engineering and Informatics. The other one is the Faculty of Life Sciences, and the other one is the Faculty of Health Studies. So among this, the faculties, let me just go through them very quickly one by one. We are actually on the top 1% in the world when it comes to our business courses because we are triple accredited. That is, we are accredited by Aqueous, ASCSP, and also AMBA. So we are one of the highest ranking universities in the North for business. When it comes to our law programs, again, we actually have the Lady Hill mooting competitions, and we also have law clinics that we actually have for our students who are studying law as well. When it comes to our engineering courses, we are the 11th in the UK in medical technology, the 7th in structural and civil engineering, the 5th in chemical engineering, and the 18th in mechanical engineering. So under the Faculty of Life Sciences, we have pharmacy, we have optometry, we have archaeological and forensic sciences. And for the students who are coming in from this September and from next year, January, we are having them have a course that will become a master's in optometry, so that when they are coming in, it's an integrated course, that they not only do the 3-year program, but it's a 4-year program whereby they get to do and come out with a master's in optometry. So we also have in the Faculty of Health Studies, which includes nursing, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, and all these courses, we have the employability rate of around 100%. So meaning that all the students who are coming in to do these particular courses, they are guaranteed placements, so that once they are done with their schoolwork, there's somewhere that they can actually be able to get and be put up in terms of job opportunities and placement programs. So we have a lot of industry inputs and advisory bodies, which include senior management representation from leading companies such as BBC, BMW, Coca-Cola, Google, and other multinational organizations. So what that means is some of these companies employ directly from Bradford. So when you're coming into Bradford, job opportunities will always be there because we have all these companies that actually employ directly from us. So we also have business trips that we actually organize. These business trips are for different countries. So we have over 150 countries all over Europe, and that our students can be able to go either for a semester, for a year, or for a term, just as an exchange student or for work placements. So I think I've kept it as short as I can. And thank you so much. So in case of anything, you can always reach out to Sheila, who is my manager, and then you can be able to answer any questions that might come up from there.
Thank you very much for your presentation. We do have a few minutes left, so I'm going to let our representatives answer some questions for you guys. I'm just going to share my screen real quick. All right, so the question we're going to be answering for you guys today is, what is one myth that you would like to debunk on the college admissions process? We will go in presentation order, so I will let St. Mary's College start us off. Not to put you on the spot.
Ooh, I am trying to think of my answer. Um, hmm. Like I said in my presentation, I feel like a lot of students think that we only, or like, I guess, majority of colleges only look at like GPA and scores. I feel like that's not the only thing that we consider when looking at their application. Like, at least for our school, I know that we really do take everything into consideration. So like your essay really does make a difference for us. Your letters of recommendation make a difference for us and things like that. And also things that you were involved in and that you were like a leader in as well. It makes a huge difference in your application. So hopefully that answers your question.
All right, next would be DePauw.
Yeah, something that I hear quite often is that college reps are not actually reading files, or that we're only spending like a minute on a file. We spend a lot of times truly going through all of the application materials. I know for my team, they're usually actually reading essays twice. So it's something that we recognize that students spend a lot of time putting effort into their application. So we also want to make sure that we're matching that. So college reps, we do spend more than a few minutes or seconds actually reading your applications.
University of Notre Dame.
Yeah, so mine, it deals with admissions, but also just college discernment in general. I think a lot of students feel they have to apply to a school because of the name, or because of a connection to the school, or XYZ, because their counselor told them they should. But I think that students really need to apply to colleges that resonate with who they are, a school that they can see themselves going to. I've heard of students who have applied to 40 different schools. At the end of the day, you're going to go to one. So make sure that you choose schools that really resonate with who you are, schools that you feel comfortable going to. And also that on the admission side, like we want to make sure we're reading applicants who really are invested in our schools as well.
Washington and Lee.
So I think the one that the myth I want to really make sure students understand is a myth is that your college essay does not have to be something traumatic. I think a lot of students, especially coming out of COVID, have gotten the idea that they need to rip themselves open raw as part of their application process, and that's how they'll get into a school that they consider good. So, like, if you want to talk about, again, something a little deeper, something that kind of meaningfully, showed the journey or the challenges you overcome, you should absolutely feel comfortable in that, right? But it should only be something you want to talk about. And so I'm sure every admissions counselor on here would say that they do remember some really moving essays that they read, but at the same time, some of the memorable essays we've read have probably also been the most lighthearted, most off the wall, just like totally personal to that student sort of deals. So whatever kind of speaks to you, and like however you want to communicate that in your authentic voice, that is going to be the best college essay for you.
And University of Bradford.
So what I would talk about is the myth that they normally go by is that we only check on grades, which is not the case. So we will not only check on you meeting the grades, but we will also want to see your personal statement. And in your personal statement, as most of the other representatives have mentioned, we are looking at things that you have been doing in the community. We are looking at you as a person. We're looking at the hobbies that you actually do. We are looking at that personal statement telling us more about you. We're looking at your recommendation letter, your references, and all these other things that make up you as a person. So in as much as we would want you to get very good grades, it is not all about the grades, but it is also so many other things that we actually try and look at so that we actually get students who are well-rounded. And when they come into the university, they don't just offer in terms of academics, but they're also able to offer in other ways as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Refs, for answering that question. Definitely some great information provided. And thank you everyone in general for joining us today. We encourage you to go back and check out the schedule and sign up for more sessions. There's another round up next. Lots of great colleges for you to hear from. And again, you'll be able to find this session's recording as any other recordings from this week at stripescan.com/Cristo Rey. Again, thank you and have a great day.